Hey guys, welcome to Boxing Squared for boxing news and views from around the internet. Robert Helenius is back from the Shadow Realm, having been stopped by Deontay Wilder previously. He's bounced back with a tune-up win over one of the only 4 Finnish heavyweights that are active. He's got a third-round stoppage against Mika Mielonen. So this was an interesting fight because Helenius was never troubled, but he never really got out of first gear, and it was a bit of a strange sort of ending, a right hand that, and actually here we go, see on screen. So you have the situation where he's basically trying to set up that right hand. He throws it, and as you can see, Mielonen just sort of stumbles off here. He's discombobulated, and yeah, that's it. The referee jumps in. Helenius, probably with some mercy, decided not to throw another shot. So we'll just play that again. So it was all over pretty quickly in the third round. Helenius hadn't really landed too many big rights or anything, but that one looked like a clean right hand side of the head. Mielonen obviously discombobulated, and the referee jumps in all over. Lickety split like that. So Robert Helenius bounces back after his first round stoppage to Deontay Wilder, where he was sent to Valhalla, the Shadow Realm, whatever you want to call it. It was a 1-round knockout. Certainly came off second best in that one. But there were a few concerning elements with this fight because, like I say, it was Robert Helenius coming back. It looked a little bit rusty, but at times in the first and second round, Mielonen was touching him up with the jab, and actually we'll just play just a few seconds here. So Mielonen pops him with the jab here. Helenius, hands down, not defending himself, sort of thinks he's out of range. Pop again. And actually that was a feature of the fight. No real defense from Robert Helenius. Sometimes he was just really upright, he was stiff, and his defense basically was non-existent. And if he did try to, stay out of harm's way, he was just pulling straight back. So if it was one of these occasions where he didn't see much threat from Mielonen, I guess, you can kind of maybe put it down and chalk it up to that. But you did have a case where Mielonen in the first couple of rounds was trying quite hard. And as you saw, he was stepping in with the jab. He was catching Robert Helenius, and that was a feature through the fight. Helenius, for the most part, though, was controlling the action behind his jab. And Mielonen not having a huge amount of success with his looping punches. But see here, this was in the first round. So a big looping left hook. And yeah, just momentarily I thought, oh, did that do any damage to Robert Helenius? But obviously he shook it off pretty quickly. And we know that Helenius is probably damaged goods now after that Deontay Wilder knockout. But just watching that, it was very low intensity, hands down, wasn't a lot of defense. But I guess just going through those motions, back on the horse, as it were, and he gets 3 rounds of action, or 2 and a bit, I should say, and he gets the win, so he advances. So what next for Robert Helenius? I mean, I wasn't that impressed with the performance, but I guess the thing is, with 1 week to go to Anthony Joshua's fight night at the time that I record this video, is it a case that he's a guy who's been training that could be on the list of potential suitors? We've had other guys that have been calling Joshua out: Otto Wallin, Andy Ruiz Jr., Jarrell Miller, Hazim Rahman. There's a few more. But you have Helenius, who is obviously potentially a guy who's got an outside shot. He's been training, and if you were really trying to create a bit of a resume comparison, with a common opponent, Deontay Wilder fought Robert Helenius in his last fight. So what if Joshua was to face him and do similar damage and knock him out in a round or 2? I think people would be talking about it. It's that common opponent aspect. And I do think that Helenius is gettable. He's flown in and fought on short notice before on a Matchroom card. That was 2 weeks notice for Dillian White back in, 2018? Something there or thereabouts, 2017. So there is a bit of form for that. And Helenius at this point, 39 years old, a bit long in the tooth. He had a couple of good years there, beat up and really sort of took the stuffing out of Adam Kovnatsky. But then he ran into Deontay Wilder's fists and was on the canvas in 1 round. So you could have a situation where he's a guy that could be a name for Joshua. And he's coming off a win. He's been training. You know, he's not the worst opponent at short notice. So just consider that. But if there is another run, if he's going to try to make another run in the heavyweight division as a contender, you know, he may need to sign on to some sort of promotional banner. So I believe that his options at PBC have run out now that he's beaten Adam Kovnatski, etc. You know, where does he go from here? He kind of is one of these guys who's got a bit of name recognition, a couple of decent wins in recent years, and he did fight against Deontay Wilder in a high-profile fight. So, you know, he could end up being a bit of a gun for hire, for quick paydays, you know, and at this stage of his career, I'm sure he'd be snapping off Matchroom's arm if the fight for Joshua came up. So who knows what's next, but he gets the win inside 3 rounds, and bit of a weird stoppage to some degree. It was like Mielonen just sort of powered down after taking that shot. The shot, and we'll just play it again, slightly obscured because of the camera angle, but perhaps it just sort of caught him just on the temple or there or thereabouts. Yeah, he's sort of all over the show. Anyway, what'd you make of the fight? Drop a comment loud and often. Hit like, hit subscribe. Follow me on Twitter. Boxing_squared. I'm out.